all-in-one versus split system diesel heater. One of these is going to be portable perfection. The other is going to be permanent power. But the real question is, which one's better for your needs? Stick around and let's find out. Hey everybody, welcome to Random Fix. So we got two diesel heaters on the table. I'm going to show you guys what's included with each one of these heaters so you can decide which route is better for you. We're going to talk about build quality, as that's something that's really important, as I'm seeing a lot of diesel heaters on the market under $100. And just because they look the same doesn't mean they're all going to perform the same in the long run. We're also going to talk about the quietness of the fuel pump. We're going to go ahead and actually fire up this diesel heater. And most importantly, I'm going to show you guys everything that you need to consider so you can figure out which one's a better fit for you. So the one on the left is going to be the all-in-one system. This particular system, as you guys noticed, has a lot less parts compared to the split system. So if you're looking for something that is going to be transferable between the van and also the house, this is going to be the right system for that because everything is built in. So let me explain. This one actually has a diesel tank built into it with a real fuel cap. Then we get some nice tubing, a vent cover, remotes, a wall charger, and it could also be hardwired into a vehicle, the muffler, and the mounting bracket. Then on the right, we have the split system, and this has a lot more parts. So the very first thing that we need to pay attention to is the unit itself. Not all units are going to be created equal. There's tons of reviews about inferior products, and honestly, I don't feel like putting any of those in my van. And at the same time, I don't want to pay $2,000 for a diesel heater because I only use it when it's under 50 degrees. So let's talk about some of the different parts. As you guys notice, there's going to be wiring harnesses, vent tubing, a split or a Y adapter, air cleaners, vent covers. We have a sink for the fuel tank. So basically, I would tap this into my fuel tank. Really quick, if you happen to own a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter that's 2019 and newer, you guys got to check out the Unlisted video, as I'm going to show you guys how you don't have to drop the fuel tank. I'm going to show you guys exactly what components you're going to need, and you're going to be able to get that split system in your camper van, and it's going to save you a bunch of time and headache. Right here, there's going to be a total of 3 ports on the bottom. We have the fuel, we have the exhaust, and we most likely have an intake right here. Then we need to go ahead and get rid of the exhaust. So this is for the exhaust. This is going to be for the intake. This is that air cleaner for the intake. More wiring harnesses. Hose clamps for the tubing. Lots of little connectors for the fuel system. Lots of little clamps, remotes, display. And most importantly, we have the actual fuel pump itself. And know that not all fuel pumps are created equal, guys. This fuel pump right here is supposed to be ultra quiet. Then we have the split system unit, and this particular unit is going to be one of the better ones because of what it actually offers. The spark plug on this particular unit is going to be made by Kyocera, and that's the difference between the inferior products and the better diesel heaters is going to be the components. So they might all look the same, but trust me guys, they're not going to perform the same, and they're not going to last as long as the quality ones. And if I can give you guys a pro tip, it's this. Make sure that you guys are not trying to run these off of portable power stations on the DC side by plugging it into your cigarette lighter port, because those are regulated at 10 amps and you're not going to get this unit enough power. It's going to throw off error codes. It might not shut down properly. And the key to longevity with diesel heaters is going to be making sure that you have enough power and that you always do the shutdown sequence so it's ready for its next use. Now that you guys know what's included with each one of these and some of the common components, let's talk about who this is going to be good for. So the all-in-one system is really good for van life, RVing, but the unit most likely has to be stored on the outside. So if you guys look at my camper van, I'm going to have to find a way of getting the hot air from this unit into the camper van. So there's going to be a couple of spots I can go ahead and do this on. I might be able to do it right here. And they make little adapters that basically go and will fill in that gap once you roll down the window. And then all the hot air would get pushed into here. Obviously, I can do it on the driver's side as well. And then I might be able to use this particular window right here as this window actually slides back. And I can make a quick template from this, maybe use wood, and about halfway right here I would make something and slide the window back. The hot air would get injected right here. As far as powering the unit, I can go through and mount the unit to the actual wheel and then make it a little table. So I would mount it to the wheel here and run the hose there or there, and the exhaust would just go up in the air in a very safe manner. And as far as power, there's going to be a lot of places I can actually tap into power. So I could run power from the hood area, as I've already run some extra leads, and I could always plug it into an electrical outlet. And when I'm not using it in the van, I could take it back inside the house, have it for backup home heating, and also maybe I want to use it to warm up the garage. Now the split system, in my opinion, is going to be a lot more efficient and it has a lot more benefits. However, it is going to take a little time to go ahead and tap into the fuel system. So my Sprinter is a diesel, so I do have diesel with me all the time. It has the diesel pump and the diesel fuel line, so that is not going to be an issue. Then I have to go and mount this by cutting a hole for the intake and the exhaust on the bottom of my camper van. And once that is cut, I can go through and get this unit in place. I also need to tap into power, mount the display, and get all these wires covered up. And the nice thing is they included all the wire loom, which is right in here. I just got to figure out how I can get the most amount of benefit with the least amount of work. All right, this is why I like the simplicity of this all-in-one system. So I got the hot air duct hooked up. There's a muffler and the pipe. At the end of the pipe, there's a little cap that keeps anything from crawling in there. We got some diesel here. I got a battery. And remember that this unit is triple voltage, so you could hook it up to the house, 24 volts or 12 volts. And there's a window right here, so you can actually see how much fuel you're putting in. And you can see the fuel level right there. So we are at about 2.4 or 2.3 liters. Okay, turning it on for the first time. I hear something. Okay, now I'm just going to let this warm up. There's a little ticking noise that's going on. The fuel pump is basically priming itself. Okay, so battery consumption is good. The unit is fully on, guys. This thing is pumping away. It is actually not loud. I'm going to let this guy just roll. Okay, so while this is about to go and finish up its hour of use, no issues, I did want to talk about the split system, as that one actually is going to be more efficient. However, it's going to take a little bit more work. So my Sprinter fuel tank is here. I have to run the power, which is going to be normally located towards the back. If I didn't have something underneath the passenger side seat base, I could have possibly installed it in that. I already have an amplifier and a subwoofer in there. Over here there's a seat, then there's a bathroom, then there's a bed area. So I'm trying to actually aim for the bed area. On this side I have my batteries. That's not a possibility. So I have a little bit of room right here to go and get this done. I'm just debating on how to do this correct. Okay, so the hour is up since it started running. The fuel is right there, and I had this on full blast. No smells, no issues. And as I lower the temperature, the ticking on the fuel pump decreases. So fuel consumption was at its maximum. Let me do a power down. Now it's powering off. Most important thing not to do is to just straight unplug it. About 7 minutes after shutdown, the unit is cool to the touch. So now I have it hooked up to the wall outlet. Alright guys, so this is going full throttle. If you listen, you can hear it tick. That is really quiet. And if you guys were curious, That is the air temperature, 162 degrees. This is on full throttle. Even on the lowest setting, it's putting out 130 degree air. And that's on setting 1. And this mode conserves the most amount of fuel. So I have no idea why this is so quiet. I wonder if it's the muffler or what this is, because this is crazy. Let me see if I can remove this. Yeah, it's the muffler. That is a good muffler, guys. 400 degrees right there. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. And the reason I got both of these systems is because I wanted to go and see the quality, as my number one concern with diesel heaters or anything that's going to go and ignite is going to be safety. So I do like the fact that a unit can be quieter, it's going to last longer, but safety is really paramount for me, as when I hit the road, 99% of the times my kids are with me. And I want to be able to close my eyes in peace, knowing that I made the best judgment call. Don't take any chances. Make sure you guys get the right component for your particular camper van or RV. And the reason I decided to go with the Outequip unit in my camper van is because I've been using their air conditioner on my Sprinter for the last 9 months, and it's been flawless. And they specialize in making air products for camper vans, RVs, and trucks. So they don't make wallets and they don't make frying pans. This is what they specialize in. So after trying this out for 2 weeks, I still have a little bit of deciding to do, and I would love your input. What do you guys think? Should I go with all-in-one or the split system? This is just so much better once it's installed. That is just so easy to go ahead and set up. Both of the systems are quality. A lot of the pieces we need to go and make a permanent install with this or even that is included. So this right here is not just a vent. You can actually remove the cover and hard mount this. Right there, it's got screw holes. And if you ever need to get replacements or you want different kind of T's or adapters, they make a whole bunch. And I'll show you guys that on the next video once I have decided on which route to go. Again, you guys will find that link to the complete install. If I find any special coupon codes to this, I will link those down below, as well as at the end of the video. If there's anything that I left out in this video that you feel is important, please let me know what it is. And as always, make it a great day.